something that's sort of popped up around the carnivore community is that
Mm,
people sharing their blood glucose results or their A1Cs
mm,
in, public forums like Facebook groups and whatnot. And they ask, is this going to be a concern? Because actually, when I went on a carnivore diet
mm,
over a period of time, my HbA1c levels were elevated to a point
mm.
where a medical professional could diagnose that as a pre-diabetic. Could you explain sort of how that works and why we shouldn't or should worry about it?
Right. Yes. When the thresholds are devised by those in the medical fraternity, for want of a better term,
Hmm.
they are talking about an average value of damage to the red blood cells due to glucose derangement, the HbA1c value. That is a blood test that makes a number of assumptions. It assumes that your red blood cells have a lifespan of X number of days. There is good initial evidence that's now being published in recent months in the literature to suggest what we have suspected all along,
Hmm.
which is that in the case of a person eating a purely carnivorous diet, or close to that even, that person's red blood cells tend to live longer. Ergo, the most basic assumption of the HbA1c test is invalid for a carnivore eating person. It will be elevated because of the fact that the lifespan of the red blood cell exceeds that to which would be expected were you eating a standard diet. Ergo, there will be more collection over more time of more
Hmm.
glucose, and the A1C will be artificially
Yeah.
elevated.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's no good as a measurement. What you really need to do as a carnivore eating person is to trace your blood glucose using a CGM, a continuous blood glucose monitor.
Hmm.
Why do I say that? Here is why. That average value for A1C that they give you in the medical profession,
Yes.
above this value means you are diabetic. Below this level means you are pre-diabetic, and lower than that is normal.
Yes.
And they have threshold cutoffs for what
Hmm.
that value is. That doesn't mean that that average value across time is what's doing the damage, because a person eating a standard diet has a blood glucose that will go up and down and up and down and up and
Hmm.
down and up and down throughout the day, every single day of their lives,
Hmm.
by virtue of what they're pouring down their necks.
Hmm. Hmm.
Carbohydrates,
Yes.
unnecessary carbohydrates that are causing these huge spike and trough situations in that person's blood glucose level.
Hmm.
Okay. Where the damage is being done is up here at the peaks, not here at the average value that would
Yeah.
result if the peaks were up there and the troughs were down
Yeah.
there. In your case, Joff, as a person that eats a carnivore diet, your blood glucose line is pretty flat,
Hmm.
vastly flat compared to anyone on any standard diet.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
there's no
much.
evidence extant anywhere in the literature, anywhere that can suggest to you that an A1C of even 6 as a carnivore eater is problematic or is likely to subject you to any risk of anything whatsoever, ever,
Hmm.
over
Hmm.
any time frame. It's a false interpretation of a test based on assumptions that are false.
Yeah.
The underpinning logic is entirely flawed, therefore the assertion is flawed.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Does that make sense?
That makes total sense. And
Mm,
I do wish that, people would watch this video and watch
mm.
your other videos on this because
Me
it's,
too.
yeah, yeah. If you haven't already,
Yeah,
watch Bart's videos on his YouTube channel.
indeed. Please do. Before we move off insulin and all of that, though, if we're going
Yeah.
to, we do need to make it clear that I'm not saying, and I never have said, that chronic hyperinsulinemia is not in and of itself a problem. It
Mm.
is.
Yes.
So that's as distinct from saying insulin resistance is a thing and it's the cause of diabetes, which it isn't.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah. There is no
Eh,
pathology. The body is doing what it should do.
yeah. Yeah.
The way that you should deal with diabetes type 2 is stop pouring carbohydrates down your neck,
Mm,
period.
mm.
That's the cure. Nothing
You,
else, just that. And wait, because it will take time for your body to heal. Why didn't it fix itself overnight then if this advice is so good? Well, how long did it take you to mess your health up?
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Anyway, right, done with that. Cool.